shoe program.
Meanwhile, China continues to wage a war. This time, the target is not a foreign government or a minority community at home. This time, China's target is foreign business. Some brands in particular are on target. The ones that showed some conscience and stopped buying supplies from Xinjiang slave camps. China is now going after them, and Chinese citizens appear to be willing accomplices. Look at these images. What you see are burning shoes. Chinese citizens are burning Nike shoes, and not just ordinary citizens. Chinese celebrities have also joined this campaign. 2 Chinese TV stars have cut their ties with Nike, and they've refused to endorse the sports brand. This video is doing the rounds on social media. What you see is a Nike store in China's Shaanxi province. Citizens are protesting. What are they angry about? Nike refusing to source from Xinjiang, citing forced labor. China is prickly about this. Nike can't just do it. It is learning the hard way. And Nike is not the only brand at the receiving end. This manufactured outrage is being directed at clothing giant H&M too. What did they do? Nothing recently, but they made a statement some time ago. That old statement has now been pulled out to target the company. It was released in September last year, and we can now confirm that it no longer is available on H&M's website. So what does the statement say? H&M was quote-unquote deeply concerned about the forced labor practices in Xinjiang, and the company announced it is no longer buying cotton from Xinjiang. 8 months later, the backlash has begun. Reports say the Communist Youth League, an influential Communist Party organization, just happened to find this old post. And life changed for H&M in China. It's like a blizzard of hate that they're facing. H&M stores have been purged from maps and internet listings in China. Tmall, an e-commerce website from the Alibaba Group, no longer offers products from this brand. Other online stores like JD.com and Taobao have also banned the brand. The H&M app on the Chinese Android store has disappeared. The anger has now reached the streets of China.
They make money in China. Of course, part of the money should return to China. If they don't purchase cotton from Xinjiang, it's like excluding China. Then China, of course, can exclude them. This is very normal. Tit for tat.
Now they have come here to slander China, so I don't think I will shop at H&M.
We found a video. This is believed to be from a shopping mall in Sichuan. A worker was seen removing the H&M logo from a giant directory. That's the extent of hatred being directed at it. Chinese state media seems to be leading this boycott call. The Global Times has published a piece it calls the old H&M statement, quote-unquote, suicidal. The People's Daily, that's the official newspaper of the Chinese Communist Party, started a hashtag, I support XJ Cotton, Xinjiang. Reports say this hashtag has generated 1.5 million posts, and it has been viewed 700 million times. Huang Xuan, a Chinese actor, has terminated his H&M endorsement contract. He claims, and I'm quoting again, a human rights smear campaign is underway against China. And this is according to the Global Times. They published a report. So we have 2 big brands now facing boycott calls, both online and on the ground. Chinese celebrities are dumping them. The state media is calling for their boycott. The people are protesting. What does all of this tell you? That this is not an organic campaign. This, as I said, is manufactured outrage. It flows from the Chinese state. The government has launched a war on foreign brands that talk about ethics and rights. It wants to bully businesses into silence on Xinjiang. The Chinese Foreign Ministry made a statement on these boycott calls, and that too with visual aids. You have to look at this.
这是当时在美国
This is a picture from the US when black slaves were forced to pick cotton in the fields. This is the picture that I have asked my colleague to print out of Xinjiang's cotton fields, which I have seen online. More than 40% are being harvested by machine. The accusation of so-called forced labor in Xinjiang does not exist. Some companies have believed such rumors. It is their own judgment on what actions they choose to take. But I believe Chinese people have their own freedom to express their opinions and feelings.
谣言，那么他自己怎么做是他自己的判断。
Such freedom of expression. The idea is to make an example out of these brands. Other companies are already feeling the heat. Today there was a report about some cutting remarks from brands like Burberry, Adidas and New Balance. Apparently, this was about statements made 2 years ago. They might all face the wrath of the dragon in the days and weeks ahead. And at the center of all of this is cotton from Xinjiang. It is the source of 87% of China's cotton. And reports say that forced Uyghur labor is used to produce this cotton. This is the reason why the United States slapped sanctions on China. Last year, the US sanctioned China's largest cotton supplier. In January, the Trump administration imposed a blanket ban on import of cotton from Xinjiang. On Monday, that is the 22nd of March, the United States, the European Union, Britain and Canada announced sanctions too. They're aimed at some Chinese officials over human rights abuses in Xinjiang. And this is bad news for the Chinese government. It also hurts Chinese businesses. After all, China is the world's factory. If it loses a bulk of its buyers, what will it do with those forced labor camps? In fact, China is already feeling the pinch of these sanctions. According to a report published last month, Chinese exporters were complaining about a drop in orders from the West. Foreign brands that turned a blind eye to abuses and happily sourced from sweatshops in third world countries have been forced to course correct. Western government sanctions forced them to stop buying cotton from Xinjiang, and now the Chinese government's hate campaign is hurting them. The brands are caught between a rock and a hard place, and it's only fair to say that they walked themselves here. As for China, it is known to push back hard every time it is questioned. So this hate campaign comes as no surprise.
Shoe program.